Hello everyone, I just wanted to take a few minutes while I'm still in full screen mode to talk about some of the new features and spells in Exile II. In addition to the standard library of spells, skills, alchemy, poison, etc., this game comes with a few new things. We have the map of Eastern Exile. So we can see that most of the towns that we got to know in the first game are still here. Empire troops have been seen in the Eastern Gallery, and Empire lands. The Empire has taken over some of the caverns. That can't be good. Fort Ganrick is right here, just a bit north of Fort Draco. Another neat thing is this game comes with a monster roster, so we can get basic information about a whole bunch of in-game creatures, allies, and enemies. So we've got Spore Beast, Soldiers, Official, Goblin. There's quite a few things in here, and I won't go into it in detail here because there be spoilers. But it's cool to know that if I really want to say, hey, is this guy resistant to this element, I can actually look it up in this one. Another interesting thing, this game has always come with background music. I never much liked it when I was a kid. I may play around with it some in the next episode just to see if my tastes have changed or if better speakers improve it at all. Also, I did promise going over some spells. So, Light casts Light, Spark is your very low-level attack spell, Haste is Haste, Strength is Bless, Scare will repel enemies, and I won't use it. Flame Cloud is interesting. It is one of the first field spells, which is new to Exile II. You might have noticed one of the enemies using this on an ally soldier in Fort Ganrick just now. Identify would be really cool if we have it, and also if we have enough spell points to spare for it. Scry Monster will add them to our monster roster. Goo, I think, basically applies webbed status to the monster and slows them down a bit. True Sight is a lesser version of Magic Map. It gives you a few squares worth of map. Poison is Poison, Flame is Flame, Slow is Slow. Dumbfound will come into play a bit later on. Dumbfounding can be a way to make spellcasters less effective. I will mention that more if and when I use it or get hit by it. Stinking Cloud is basically a curse cloud. Also, we get to summon creatures in this game if we want to. I mostly don't. Enemies do a fair bit. Conflagration is basically a larger flame cloud. Dispel Field does what it says on the tin. It will dispel magical fields. Invisibility, I think, is a stealth spell. Unlock is obvious. Haste is yet more haste. We all know and love Fireball and Long Light. I won't use Fear. Wall of Force is a somewhat more effective and damaging field spell. Weak Summon summons more stuff. Flame Arrows is neat. It is basically a multi-target flame spell. Web is like Goo but more. And Resist Magic will cast the Resist Magic status on one ally. Priest spells, again, we've got all of the classics. Blessing, Healing, Cure Poison, Turn Undead. Location can reveal your coordinate location in a dungeon, and can be useful if you don't know your way around or have maps. I don't remember what Sanctuary does. I'd have to look that one up. Symbiosis is one that I never used. I think it's a weird spell. It takes damage inflicted on one character and shares it with the casting priest. Minor Mana is interesting. You can actually generate your own food with this. Sanctify is a fun spell, and even plot important. It costs a huge amount of spell points. Stumble is very basic curse. Summon Spirit. Priests can get in on summoning too. Move Mountains is a very cool spell that we will see later on. Charm Foe is potentially fun if you enjoy charming your enemies to fight for you. Disease is a new feature of Exile 2 and beyond. It can give the target many crummy effects. Dispel Field is actually a priest spell as well as a mage spell. Then we've got your heals, your curse, detect life. Priest can cast Force Field, apparently. Restore Mind is the cure for dumbfounding, and Smite is another new priest damaging spell. I believe it does cold damage, where wound does physical. And any level 4 and beyond spells I will describe as I find them. So I believe that is all that I wanted to show. Not quite. To go into a bit more detail on the various barriers and fields we now have access to. Wall of Fire fills an area with fire. Short-lived, low damage. Wall of Force does a bit more. Wall of Ice lasts a lot longer. Wall of Blades is super annoying to walk into. Stinking Cloud curses anyone that walks into it. Web, it's basically just like walking into a spider web. It slows you down and you have to clean it off. Anti-magic fields are very annoying when cast on you, because you cannot use magic. Fire and force barriers we encountered in the previous game. And Quickfire is a great way to make a bunch of creatures angry and then dead. I hope you all enjoyed that excursion into Exile 2 mechanics and lore. I'll see you all next time with some actual gameplay. Have a good one, everybody.